Good morning, my dearest Elyse. So I have several thoughts before we get into your reading. First of all, let me push this back so I have space because the first thing I'm actually going to do is pull a few cards and get some ideas about your finances, your career, and all that good stuff that I am going to reiterate in a different way when I actually read your chart. So I should probably start with making it smaller. I thought I was going straight into the chart, but as soon as I went to tap in, my soul reminded me of how I'm supposed to be doing this reading. So first things first, that thing you showed me about adjusting your time to match the time zone that you were born in on astro.com. Amazing business. I was so confused because you kept popping up as a Sag rising. And you said you were a cat rising. I changed it and it made you cat, right? I did the same adjustment to mine because I was also born in EST. It didn't change my chart at all. Like literally the same, all the degrees and everything. What one would know the difference between if they were a Sag rising and a Capricorn rising. We are currently, excuse my lingo in advance, but balls deep in Capricorn season. I woke up at 5 something this morning so that I could do my meditations and affirmations and be in order and have this reading out to you at this time. And I have a whole written out, organized schedule from now through Friday that I will be following, right? This is usually, he's like, even the food stain. Oh my gosh, do not judge me. This is usually what my my workload looks like. And it's very likely that this is a representation of how it all is in my mind. So that's how I was sort of coasting this last year when things really, really picked up. So I was able to just keep my little notepad at first and stuff in my head and be like, right? But things got busy. And I guess I was not prepared for, I didn't have the skills. I don't have any earth in my chart, right? So everything started looking like this. And it's just pages and pages and pages of stuff that looks like me trying to organize, but then it's right back to the scrabbling and stuff. Capricorn season came in like a beautiful wrecking ball and started waking me up at 5 in the morning saying, we're not going to do this in 2025, right? So when you said that you were Capricorn rising, I'm like, she would know. There is a difference. There is a sense of nothing is okay unless I'm being successful or I'm working towards what I want. That this energy is screaming. And you have it at the 8th degree. That's a Scorpio degree. So yours is like legacy or die is the energy that I get from you. Like I'm only just channeling this because we're in Capricorn season. But I already feel so accomplished. And if I don't feel accomplished, then I start getting like anxious and antsy in this energy. If you had been a Sag rising, you totally would have been like, it's whatever. We can read whatever chart works for you. Go where you are organically led. Capricorn rising is like, no, this is what it is. I'm aware. I've checked all the different ways. You even had emails to back up. Take this off until I start staring at the screen. To back up how you wrote the person that made Astro.com in order to tell them that their system was messing up your birth chart. Cap rising confirms. So let's get into your money design. I'm going to start with the money deck first. It's money and where is your money coming from? A career and money oracle, right? So I have new money decks coming too because this works so well. I'm going to use the enchanted map to see where you are being led or where you should go for your highest abundance, but also fulfillment. I don't want to just pull and say, hey, where's she going to make the most money? And then it'd be a job that you were absolutely miserable. Material wealth or happiness, joy, abundance is not only found in material things. So last but not least, the energy deck, so that that element is included in here as well. So let's get started. I'm going to pull from each deck first, and then I'm going to read it. So where will Elyse find her most and fulfilling financially? Right. I just came from doing my walk, taking out the trash of the car. It's hair wash day. Don't you love that? Now, this is my first time having an official hair wash day, but I feel really good. Like I'm vibing with you now. Like, yeah, Cap sisters. So, what does Elise need to know about where she'll find her greatest abundance and fulfillment? I'm going to be so sad when the energy goes back into Aquarius, because then I'll be back to my normal self. I have an Aquarius moon, and I'll still get stuff done, but it'll be like more random. What's supposed to happen with every transit? You know that thing about, I know you know this because I bet you there's some Virgo in your chart too. But it takes 21 days for something to become a habit. So now in the first week of every new zodiac cycle, you are given a issue that you have to fix. You usually work out the fixing of it or what you need to do to fix it. You get the answer within that first week. And then you have the rest of the 21 days to nail that behavior or integrate it into your everyday life, right? After that becomes a part of your life, you have your little final exam. How did you do? What's your reward on the 29th degree? Like it could just be success. It could be financial stuff, just a difference in the way that you are functioning because you have now integrated whatever the zodiac energy was for that season, right? So when the next season starts, there's a new crisis, a new something to fix, and then you have to learn the new behavior and get that layered on top of the structure that you have already learned. I always go with April being the beginning of New Year because it's when like spring kicks in after March leaves. But I can understand the benefit of looking at January as the beginning of the year because that is the month of structure. Whatever you do during January, you are locking in your flow for the rest of the year, the foundation from which the rest of the year will be built. Aquarius season, I don't even, I'll tell you during Aquarius season what that energy is best for. I'm sensing that it's something with psychic gifts or possibly connecting with other people, networking, meeting new fans and stuff like that. We shall see. Because that would be in your second house anyway, connected to the way that you earn money. So where will Elyse find her highest abundance and success? Don't you love how we're just having a conversation that you can't respond to? When I was giving myself pep talks this week about like, all right, you have a great job. You literally just talk to invisible people all day. Like y'all are there, but y'all are like out there. How much easier can this be, right? Having a telepathic conversation and you get to log into it later. Like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. So let's get down to the nitty gritty now that I have pleasantly talked your ear off. Oh. Okay. So I went with the energy deck first and I'm going to flip them all. I am not surprised that you would be amazing at managing other people's money at all, especially with everything that we have discussed today with you being the GOAT and all. So working with others towards a common cause, helping other people manage their assets, that makes a lot of sense with that sneaky Scorpio rising that you have with the 8th degree. The 8th house, the 8th degree, Scorpio energy, makes money from helping other people manage their assets like real estate, stock market, portfolios and stuff. Money manager is the first card that came up for you. Something where you do something that gets you dividends off of good work. It feels like very much here. You have one job that makes you fiscally stable, financially stable. And it's not hard for you to do. It's something that comes to you naturally. It's this money management thing, this flipping it, helping other people increase, right? But then because that job gives you so much stability and the space to be free in what you do, the second job is purely fulfillment. It might not even be something that pays, but this first one, this money management and planning, it's like planning people's real estate, handling their inheritances, and tax taxes just popped in my head, like tax attorney. Is it end of life services? Something to do with the inheritance and people putting away like their funds, their trust funds and stuff. Event planning is also on here, project manager, professional organizer. Whatever you're doing right now, it's saying that's not it. Whatever your job is right now, that's not it for you in some way, shape, or form. You're unhappy with your income, but are too scared to make any changes. Unfulfilled. Isn't that brutal? But I'm getting that you might already have this skill in your Rolodex, or something that you can attune or tighten up. This whole money management, planning, helping, estate planning. That's what it is. There's something else that you can go to school for, or a skill that you can pull out of your Rolodex that you already have that would make you so much money on the side as your part-time job, because it looks like the job you actually want to do, the one that would bring you fulfillment, would be something heart and solar plexus based. You want to be creative. You want to share your joy with other people. You want to do something that keeps you on your spiritual path, to be honest. And this could do a lot to have with the things you want to do working with children. Something that keeps you pure in spirit. And I think that that's why the second job, money really isn't on your mind. Now, you might work on getting grants or getting hosting charity events, and that could go along with the project management too. That could be a lot how you meet a lot of your clients. But working behind the scenes to bring together things that are the wishes of others. You have a very charitable spirit. Spirit. It's like if you could do all of this stuff and not have to worry about bills and just like help people all the time, that's what you would do. Like the bills sort of seem like a nuisance. I'm not even sensing here. You like, you're like, yeah, I need money for vacations and all that stuff. No, it's like you want to be stable because that's what's required of planet Earth. Now, you're not given none. Like you wouldn't run off and be in a, what's that thing called? Monastery? Not at all. You want to be out there in the trenches, fighting the good fight, being on top of of things, being in charge, whatever. That says the woman with the coin. Uh, whatever you're doing, you're meant to be the leader of, or be in charge, or help organize the structure of it in some way, shape, or form. You help bring balance to things with your vision for how they should run smoothly. And we're about to see how all of this plays out in your chart. So let me share my screen. I might lag a little bit during the transition. So at the bottom of that money deck, I am noticing now that I'm going to go pick it up and put abilities showed up. You have all the tools you need to increase your income. Good fortune is coming, and opportunity may come to you when you showcase your talents. So let's get into those talents. But the ability to manifest or to say you want or need something for yourself, and then the tenacity to go through with what the universe is asking you to do in order to get it is like unprecedented. Very, I want it, I got it. Probably no coincidence that that's a Saturnian song or it's a Saturn worship song. So let's get cracking. Let me get my glasses back on. So, Cap rising with your part of fortune, which is your sprinkle of luck in life. In the first house, you wear it on your sleeve, but it's in your values for people, your empathy for people. how you treat everybody like you want to be treated. So it's like you're contagious is the feeling I'm getting. When you come around people, your energy is contagious. It stays with them for a while after you leave. Now, why is that? That's because your part of fortune is at the 26th degree, a Taurus degree, right? That's your value. That's the energy you give off, your earth power, your building power. But it's at the same exact degree as your Venus, which is the ruler of Taurus, and your Mercury, which is how your mind works, that manifesting ability for you in this case. But you have them in the sign of Libra, which is also ruled by Venus. So that gives you the potential for a stacked second house. This means, once again, like I picked up with that manifesting card, finances are just something that it is, it's money, bills got to be paid, blah, blah, blah. You're searching for something deeper, something meaningful, a way to make a difference in the world, right? So that's where your banks comes in. Your banks, which is your ancestral, or celestial. I merged those words, ancestral, but that didn't, and I can't even say it again. That was so messed up. So your inheritance is connected to the joy and the inner light that you find when you are out there sharing your energy like Tinkerbell. This is ruled by the sign of Aquarius, which takes up the rest of your first house, the second half of your first house, right? Also at the seventh degree, which is where your eros, your joie de vivre, your joy of life, your vitality, what keeps you going, and your glow, which is literally like your glow, is at the same degree as your enterprise. Your enterprise is what part of you represents a business. It's like you are for the people. Whenever you get into a one-on-one conversation with people, or even a group of like-minded folks, you lock in and you share like a ray of light. So every time that you're out doing job that doesn't pay or job that's just off the strength of your spirit, somehow over here more money comes up or more opportunities for money to come up because they are connecting for you. Your phallus, which is the big turning point in your chart, is ruled by this 11th house. Your south node, where is right next to your Felicia. I think it's Latin or something, but it's your happiness. What brings you excitement and joy? Seventh degree again. You really like helping people, especially people who are the underdog. I want to say people of a different race. You would do really good helping in third world countries. Like one day, like being a missionary would be something beautiful for you. And it's like the top of your goals in life. This whole ninth house rules Sagittarius, right? Which rules your 11th house, which rules half of your first mission, or the main part of your mission in this first house. So that's why you had two different jobs there. One where you're an entrepreneur and you can make your own time schedule, and the other one where you spend your time like flitting around the world in superhero mode. So your South Node means that you've done this before. I feel like you used to be a writer or something. You still have the ability to write. Like you can write an impressive ass essay if you want to get a grant or you want to petition something or you want to rouse some people up. And that seems like where you're meant to be headed in this life. You are meant to take all this stuff that is Sagittarius, that is the wisdom that you have gained through your own personal experience and relationships with other people, this unique genius, which is your palace, that you have mentally. You connect dots all the time and you notice patterns. You are meant to take that and move into this North Node, which is to ground it into a format that other people can learn from. You're like a sneaky teacher. I'm getting with this. So your North Node is still at a Sagittarius degree. So taking that wisdom of self that you have learned in your mind about being a warrior, and your turning point, that phallus I was talking about meeting certain people, is connected to your Saturn. So your contract is to bring that strong energy in and change people. I'm getting that this part comes in when you're fighting for like the underdog. If there's some people who are trying not to give money for a certain cause or something, you're going to be like, hey, why is this not in the budget? And then you're going to have a whole like sheet written out of other places that the budget could be moved around, or where it's possible and the results being positive in other years from making changes to this program and just putting together something that is really powerful, an act of persuasion. I feel like that's a gift that is not even mentioned here, but you are good at presenting facts in such a way that they are compelling to other people. For me, this is your Scorpio in 10th and your 8th house. So this packed 8th house, which means your abundance, the one we've been talking about this whole time, is in your drive, your desire to heal others. And that drive is based upon your personal wound and your self-worth. You find your personal self-worth through seeing your reflection in other people's eyes and making the lives of others better. That is this whole thing of Virgo energy. And your Libra sun at the 0th degree, that's the first time that you're not being a Virgo in a very long time. That's why you have this Uranus, which is the big radical change in your chart. But also because you have it at the 29th degree, that means that this is a quiz for you. Can you make a change in the results that you got last time? Well, what results did she get last time? Let's see. There's got to be something that went wrong last time. So this time you get to be a Libra. Last time you were a Virgo. You did not like how that ended. That's why you ended up with so much 8th house. And Virgo debt energy is something that you wanted to do. Oh, I'm feeling like, and I'm going to pull because I feel like it's important that you know the answer, but I'm feeling like you worked for an institution and you found out they were dirty, but you were too scared to say anything last time because you didn't want to disrupt the status quo and you had no support system to back you. In this life, you are your support system. All you require for you is your beliefs. If you believe in something and it needs to be done, there's nobody that can stop you. Nobody that can say, hey, that's not good for the business. You're not going to care about that. Your Libra at 0 degrees means black and white, right or wrong. You can't blur that line for the sake of money or what's easier. You have to do the right thing. So that's the rewrite that you wanted. So let me just confirm. What was the wound from Elyse's past life that she is fixing through this Uranus? Yeah, shorty, this is amazing. And I'm just talking about like, yo, knowing stuff I ain't got no business knowing and just like being able to help you was great. You were hiding your true thoughts, your true feelings, and putting yourself aside for the establishment. And it feels like it could have very well been the church, or you could have been in a hospital somewhere where like patients were dying left and right because they were cutting money on supplies or whatever the case may be. And you didn't say anything because it was your job and you had to worry about money and all that. Everything about this life this time was making sure that when the time came for you to stand up or be put in a similar position, you would speak your mind and say what you needed to. You're not a back downer at all. And because of that, the other thing that you have, the 29th degree, that is tied to that is your Varuna. Your Varuna is like your well-known energy. So whatever field that you work in, whatever group of people you touch, anybody else who comes into contact regarding that subject in that particular field will eventually get to know you. Will like know you by name, hear about you or something. You are going to make an impact. That is also what your 10th house is about. You see that Neptune in 10th house? Your Neptune is your past life marker. So making up for the non-whistleblower that you were last time, you will blow some form of whistle in this life. That will give you a form of notoriety for a while. But the notoriety you don't necessarily want, it's towards your cause. You'll always say, okay, while y'all are looking right here, can we talk about this? Like you'll be making decisions based on making the difference that you didn't. You went through the rest of that life knowing what you knew and you just like stayed at the job. It did not end how you wanted it to. So the next thing we have on here is your Midas at the 16th degree. Your ability to help other people deal with their own trauma, which is backed up by your sun, just that energy, is amazing. Like you give a nurturing, you give sometimes what people didn't even know they needed to hear to have faith that there are still good people in the world. That is also what your industria is. Your business is meant to be built upon your mind. Your empire is going to be built on your self-expression. So much about this chart says your mind is your money magnet. It's how you connect to other people. It's how you build your business for yourself. It's where you spread your reach the furthest. It would be great if you learned like an alternate language. Like if you don't already know sign language or something for a specific group of people that you are drawn to, or just the unique way of expressing, that would be great. You have the ability to learn multiple languages. And I feel like that's just something that you needed to know. And it could possibly connect to those missionary things that I sense you being invited to do in the future. So you have an emotional compass. That's what this 18th degree that connects to your 18th degree series is. When you get into somebody's field, you feel what is off inside of them energetically, just intuitively in your body. Say, for instance, you come next to somebody who has an ulcer and you're like body scanning them. Suddenly you're going to feel like, how's your stomach been lately? I feel a little, because you can pick it up like a radar. I don't know where you're going to use that, but it feels like while you're helping, so much of this stuff is one job for function and the other one giving you fulfillment, so much so that you are sort of existing in this plane as a dual entity doing one very special mission for source, which is where all that Sag energy comes from. That's from the house of the father, right? And then one side building the legacy that you want for yourself. Because I keep getting, it's not about money for you. Even with this financial reading, you wanted to know what was the best stuff to do. But that was just so that your bills and your home and your comfort in order to do what you were being called to do is stable. So, Miss Elyse, please know that finances will not ever, ever be an issue for you. Pick a skill, tighten it up, decide which one you want to share. Just know that you have the Midas touch. Whatever people need help with, you are going to help ease it out. And because of that, they will throw money and referrals at you for you to be able to take care of what you need to. And any vacations or random galas or stuff like that, those are going to come to you through your charity work, which will in turn eventually also yield clients for you over time. Like not the people that you're helping to serve or help save their lives, but like their parents and their parents' parents, or the director of the project. Like, hey, so you do real estate or you do financial planning or you do whatever it is that is going to help both things flow together until your world feels like this. So you are merging, you are Gemini energy, which is crazy, right? Because you have that Aries and Gemini. You are the great thinker. You are the teacher. You are the learner. You are the speaker. One day you might be called to do speeches. I just want you to take note, sit down for your homework, assess all of your traits that you already have, all your positive skills, and then decide which one you want to tighten up, which one you want to be a focal point, which thing you could do forever. And then that's the one you pour that energy into for your financial channel. Because the rest of it, it's like these missions are just falling in your lap. Like, hold on, I need to save the day over here. Like, you have it down, ma'am, and you have a good day.